be together and they work it out, because that's how balance comes in. That's how a man and a woman is supposed to live together.
Okay, so all along what you're trying to say is Chimamanda, even though she's strong, outspoken voice of feminism, she has in her background that male supporting role that balances that voice.
Yes.
Okay.
And I believe that if she didn't have that role, she wouldn't be quite complete. She would be complete maybe on the screens or outside, but she herself who wrote it would have that void. She knows she would have that void. Anybody would have that void if they were just alone doing it all, making it all work. And then at the end of the day, who are you doing it for? What are you doing it for? Yes, you can do it for yourself. That was nice, but you have to share. And in sharing with other people, you will empower yourself. It will feel much more that you're actually inspiring people. Because as you teach others, you also learn.
Okay.
So if she did not have that male supporting character in her life, she would not have a purpose. Like, apart from herself, she would need something bigger, like a family. That's what family also is for.
Interesting. It's all serious talk about Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and we have been playing around at least the 4 of her books we have. ENO has been doing that work. The first title is Americana, then we have Purple Hibiscus, then The Tin Around Your Neck, and Half of a Yellow Sun. These are very big books, competing with volumes like King James Version. And by the way, for another introduction, ENO is the author of The Bowl of Rice. She's a budding author that needs support. This is a very good children's book that she illustrated, and it's a beautiful gift you will give to your children. Now, one problem we have always faced as Africans is that we have identity crisis. And one without identity is one who cannot tell their own story, one who cannot live their life, one who cannot, create their own reality. They feed on other people's reality. That is why you see the Western culture has eroded our original indigenous culture, and that has affected our identity. Tell me how you think Chimamanda has been able to retain her indigenous identity while functioning elaborately in the Western culture.
Well, I think it was because she was very deeply rooted in her family. She speaks a lot about the love for her father and mother, and she had lots of siblings, so there were always family around her. She grew up in a university where there was already a society. They built a name for themselves, that community. That was what groomed her, I think. So she would not have struggled with identity crisis growing up in a community like that. And even if she did, it was Africa, and there was a certain level to which you would go that you would just realize your identity at some point, because you would turn around and look at everyone. Everybody has that thing that they are doing that is making them happy, or is giving them joy, is helping to inspire other people.
Okay.
So growing up in such a community, she already had that background. Then going to a place like America gave her more experience.
Okay.
It literally whacked her with all sorts of experiences. There is race, there is the fact that she's an African woman, a Nigerian woman at that, and the whole stories she has heard about her people, the Civil War, the Biafran Civil War. So there were many things there to build her identity. There would have been a crisis, but that would get quickly resolved because there are experiences to build her, to help her decide. In fact, there would have been many options. She could have decided to be like she mentioned in the book Americana. She could have decided to be a quirky, American-styled, American-speaking accent kind of lady, or she could decide to be a lesbian living somewhere in Brooklyn, in a Brooklyn apartment or in a Brooklyn neighborhood, or she could still decide to live here in Nigeria and just live in Lagos with the people of Lagos and the busy cities and busy streets and everything. So there are many identities for her to choose from. So even if she had an identity crisis, the world is a big place with many concepts, many things are available. Mother Nature is not stingy with her children. She's very, very, very generous.
Okay.
So there are many identities. It is just to choose one. And I think she already knew what her identity was to be, judging from the way her books go with a certain rhythm. The rhythm of one going through many struggles,
Okay.
finding out that they can do something about it, then doing something about it and still seeing that something is missing, then finding what is missing. So that finding what is missing is the key question. It's like the puzzle piece. If you can find what is missing, and that thing, nobody's going to tell you what it is. It doesn't exactly have a name. You just find what is missing and the whole thing solves itself.
Oh, okay. So, quite recently, I discovered in her the only children's book she's written that you can also, apart from calling her Chimamanda, you can also call her Grace James.
Yes, the daughter of Grace James. At first, when I saw it, I thought it was her daughter's name. I thought the daughter's name was Grace James, and it was. So when I discovered that if it was Grace James, Nne is mother, so she should have been mother of Grace James, but she is daughter of Grace James because her father is Professor James Moye Adichie and her mother is Grace Adichie.
Okay, so it's Grace James. So talking about Grace James, what's the title of the children's story she wrote?
It's called Mama's Sleeping Scarf.
Okay, what is it about?
It's a wonderful book about family and about the love shared between mother and child, mother and daughter, like second generation and third generation. Although she also included a first generation because the grandmother was there in the book. The grandmother's picture was illustrated there in the book. So you would know that there was a connectedness in that family. They were all there together. So things would be passed down from one to another. Things would not die out.
Okay.
I think that was what she was trying to convey with the sleeping scarf.
Okay, there's a handing down
Yes.
of family heritage kind of.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think she's a funny person from the way she writes?
But she's a very, very, very funny person. She seems like a person who is funny, knows they are funny, and sometimes sits and amuses themselves.
Okay, give examples running through her 4 books that you have here.
Okay. So
Funny things about Americana.
So there was this scene in Americana where I think it was supposed to be funny to the reader, not funny to the person, the main character in the book.
So it's just torturing the
yes. So
it's using the narrator's misery.
Yes. So if Emily went to get her hair braided at Mariama Hair Braiding Salon, and this white lady comes, she's trying to think about her life. If Emily is trying to recount her whole 15 years in America, trying to see if her moving back to Nigeria is worth it, and this white lady just comes in and starts talking about how she's so she really loves books, and she read this particular book, Things Fall Apart, and it was quite quaint. And if Emelu just goes like, why won't this lady stop talking first of all? I think I'm going to have a migraine. Or just, why, and how would she call things fall apart quaint? And then she begins to tell her of, the white lady begins to tell her of another book she read, A Bend in the River, and how it is so African. And if Emelu just goes lecturing her about how un-African that book is, about how the person in A Bend in the River is trying to chase a European dream, and how she does not see that as Africa. Then the woman goes like, that's why you read books like the way you do. I see you are such an emotional person. And she tells the woman, that's why you read books the way you do. And the woman was like, this African woman is crazy.
Has insulted me.
So there was just silence in the salon for that moment, because the white woman came and she was all over the place, thinking she knows best. She's the kind of woman, Chimamanda says, who would condemn America, pull it down through the mud, and say all sorts of things, but they don't want you to join to condemn you. They just want you to sit there and nod your head like you're dumb. Something like that. So the woman was really annoying, and if Emelu already had a lot of things on her mind, so she just gave the woman a mini lecture and put her off.
Still talking about funny. Basically, what's funny in there?
It's not very funny in here. It's just very solemn. It's soulful. You know the way soulful music, the kind that can make you sleep, or the kind that can make you cry, the kind that can make you daydream. It's that kind of book. It's not really
There's
much
nothing
funny.
really funny in there.
No.
All the characters there, no one just had a moment of laughter.
Well, there is a moment of laughter where her cousins are teasing her about her crush on Father Amadi. And it's not really funny because that was the moment he was moving for his mission in Germany. So she did not find it funny at all. It was very brief. Still, I say again, this book is very soulful.
This one, funny.
This was set in wartime.
Ouch.
So, the only really funny
But there was a part in the book where, you know, the professor and his friends, they sit down, they discuss politics, they drink palm wine and eat.
No, they drink beer. Everybody has his own preference. Some drink Fanta mixed with gin, some drink beer, and some drink whiskey.
Okay.
So
and they don't laugh.
they laugh, but they make
just
all
talk
these,
Marxism
political jokes. And sometimes when they are drunk, they start talking funny things that don't literally make sense.
Oh.
Yes,
Just
like Miss
long,
Adebayo.
long unwinding
Yes. And then
theories
you start
and narratives.
staring, that weird awkward silence.
Cricket. Okay. If you, concerning this book, Purple, Half of a Yellow Sun, if you meet, I know there's this general question hanging on every reader of this book. If you meet Chimamanda, you would always want to ask her, what happened to Kainene? Why did
Those
you?
people have suffered too much.
Why did?
Olana and everybody in that book had suffered too much.
What
So
happened
it was
to Kainene?
very unjust. In the book, at the last page, she said, Olana said all her savings in her bank account have been wiped due to the fact that she's Biafran and the war was over. So destiny wouldn't be so cruel as to take away her sister too. And the destiny in this case now is Chimamanda. And she was so cruel as to take
the pen
away.
of Chimamanda.
So we're still wondering what kind of mind. I once heard in a CNN interview with
Was it
Amanpo, yes.
Christine Amanpo.
Yes, where she said she had a very cloudy, a very dark mind, and that was why she had not earlier written children's books. So this dark mind, I think, is what pushed her to make that final horror
Of just
Kindness,
disappearing.
disappearance. Every other thing
She
that
didn't even
happened,
kill her.
No.
So we can just imagine whether Nigerian army caught her.
Or, you know, there were horrible things that were done during that wartime. Very
or maybe
horrible
bomb
things.
fell from the
Yes.
sky on her, or
They trafficked out of the country. Just
oh Lord, kindly, wherever she is, perhaps she can just write a book, kindly.
no,
It
she
will
would
sell
not.
from the title.
She would not.
No,
The
like,
kind of marriage
like
she
seriously,
has, she will not.
like seriously, kindly can just
Come
you know
out of nowhere.
leave the country and join
They
secret
made
service. something.
many assumptions because
And
Kaina was a
then
very
she can come
strong
back and
character.
actually reactivate Biafra.
She's a very strong character.
Yeah,
She's
maybe
like-
she has been away training.
But just go like that. I don't
Chimamanda,
believe
this is
that.
an idea I'm giving
I know, I
you.
don't
You can
believe
resurrect
that.
that character.
I don't
Kainene.
believe that is
We have waited for
possible
it too long.
because she wouldn't go to a secret service without getting back to her sister because she had only just
The secret service people are
reconciled.
heartless now.
She had only just reconciled with her sister. They were not on talking terms at the beginning of the book. So she only just reconciled. They wanted to start a new, and they are twins. They wanted to start a new sisterly relationship. So if she was even going into that thing, she would at least, maybe not Richard, she would have told Alana. But they did not hear from her. That man died.
No, she didn't die.
Died.
She's somewhere training to
Died,
come
she's
back
dead.
and do something great. Let's just keep it that way.
Your dark clouded mind.
Okay. I think we've gone far enough. Would try to rectify the technical issue we had before this, and next week Saturday will be on time, and it promised to be more lavish, promised to be, this is the very beginning. ENO has read so many books. As a child, I actually buy her books, not toys. So she's a very fast reader. That's why she's able to consume all of Chimamanda's works.
As I read Half a Fellow Son at the age of 12.
So that's why this is easy for her, and she recalls all the story and she can turn it upside down and do all that. So next Saturday we are going to pick another of her favorite author. Who between
I think we should go
okay, we've done for International Women's Day, we've done Chimamanda.
Yes.
I don't think we have exhausted
No,
Chimamanda
we
well
have
enough
not.
because of
We
the
have
technical issue. We
Yes.
were frustrated already and tired. So maybe we'll do Chimamanda another time
Yeah.
when someone, I don't know, maybe someone may just watch this and send you a copy of Dream Count, or even
Yes.
Chimamanda herself. It's possible. Who knows? So next week we'll do a man.
So it should be Chinua Achebe.
Between Chinua Achebe and Soyinka, who will you do? Wole Soyinka.
Okay,
Would throw dice. Would throw lot.
Yeah, maybe we should
Okay,
do
so
examples.
by Monday, Tuesday we should put up another event flyer for the next author bets. It would be a man. We would go back and forth with it and see who we arrive at. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for spending time with us, for those of you who came in here. And for those of you who will be watching this much later, this is ENO Olugbo, the author of this lovely darling book, The Bowl of Rice. She wrote and illustrated it. It's a children's book, but very beautiful for adults too, because it has a strong message and a lesson. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for giving us your time. We hope we've been able to make it worth your time. And until then, see you next week. Bye-bye.